So the other day, I woke up, and I was a little bit groggy, scrolling, like, first thing I do, I grab my phone, I'm scrolling through Twitter, and what do I see? I see a tier list. It was Nux's tier list. And I'm looking at it, and I'm not overly surprised. Let me pull it up for you guys here. We have, what is this? Gintama in SS tier, JoJo's in SSS tier, in the top tier, and then we see Furumeto Alchemist Brotherhood and Hunter x Hunter in S, and I'm like, this makes sense. I see Fairy Tail, I disagree, but I do know that Nux has that bad take, so I keep on going. I think this is a normal tier list. And then I see Tokyo Ghoul in A tier, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Right next to One Piece! So at this point I'm like, alright, either Nux went insane, or this is bait. So I continue to look through it, and I think both are equally likely, because Nux is already insane, so maybe he finally pushed through the barrier and just completely lost his mind. Also likely, he is doing this just to get a reaction out of people. He likes to troll, and he likes to upset people in the anime community. People that are easily upset when you make fun of their favorite anime. So then I go ahead and see Attack on Titan in B tier. With what's happened in the manga, there is no way he would have that take. I see Samurai Champloo in C tier, and I know he's not the biggest Samurai Champloo fan, but like C tier, there's no way. And then I see Ass Class in D, Noragami Aragoto in D, Boruto in Boruto tier. That makes sense. But obviously at this point I knew it was bait. So what I figured I would do is I would talk about it on stream, and then we're gonna do my list, which is obviously superior in every way. It's the perfect list, can't be debunked in any way, shape, or form. So let's do it, boys. So let's just start off, obviously, Furumeto Alchemist Brotherhood in SSS tier. And then we'll take, what else is SSS? One Piece, SSS. Hunter x Hunter is between S and SSS for me. I'm gonna put it SSS for the time being. Now, I do have a take here that some people will probably disagree with me. So I don't think JoJo's is SSS tier. I think it's S tier. And the reason I say this is because you have to look at all the parts. You can't just look at part 5, the second half of part 4, the ending of part 3, and part 2, which is amazing, and say this is an SSS tier arc. You gotta look at every part, and I think part 1 was just kind of alright. When I look at part 2, I think it was great. I love the characters. When I look at part 3, I think it had a good ending, and like towards the second half of both seasons was good, but like it got really repetitive, and it was a slow ride towards what I thought was the great ending of part 3. Part 4, I was very confused because it was overhyped for me a lot. So 10 to 15 episodes into part 4, I'm like, this is worse than part 3 and part 2, without a doubt. And then obviously Kira comes into play, and it just gets better, better, and better. And at that point, like, it was a top tier arc. I don't think it's a perfect series, you know? And I do want to emphasize here that when I am looking at these series, I'm looking at the best version of their material. So for One Piece, I'm looking at the manga. For Hunter x Hunter, I'm looking at the anime, so on and so forth. Because I think One Piece has a lot of faults with the anime adaptation, but they don't exist within the manga. I just want to emphasize that I do love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I think it's amazing, very entertaining, one of the best battle systems, amazing fights, amazing characters, but I just don't think it's SSS tier, but S tier is still a top tier anime, which I think it is. Yeah, so I put JoJo's in S. Let's continue. Blue Exorcist. I didn't watch any of the remakes, but the original series, the ending was whack, so I'm going to put it in B. I think Attack on Titan is A or S tier right now. And the reason I say that is because I think Season 1 was just alright. It had a hype start, and then kind of derailed when it came to pacing, and just, I lost interest, honestly. I dropped it twice. And then Season 2 was better, Season 3 was even better, and then I went to read the manga, and then around chapter 100, it just started becoming amazing, and I feel like I always loved the world, and then the world got better. And then, like, I never really loved the characters, and I started to fall in love with the characters at that point. So I'm gonna put AOT in, I'll put him in S tier. I wouldn't put it SSS tier. I reserve that for, like, the perfect series. I even struggle to put Hunter x Hunter in SSS tier. And also, it doesn't have an ending yet, so it's hard for me. Like, it's weird. I feel like I could say, like, because I love One Piece and I think it's a top tier series, without an ending, I can still put in SSS tier because everything I've seen so far has been amazing. Everything I've seen for Attack on Titan hasn't been amazing. So maybe the ending could push it up one, but currently I have to leave it in S. Ass Class, I thought it was pretty average, we'll put it in B. Black Clover, I'll put it in A. I'm not a big fan of the anime adaptation, but the manga's top tier. Bleach, I'll put in... Oh, I don't know if I should put Bleach in... I'll put Bleach in B. There's too many tiers here, honestly. I have to start spreading these out, because now with Bleach in B, I'd probably move Blue Exorcist down to C. MHA, I would put that in B to A. But then if I have... It's weird, because like, I think Black Clover is better than MHA by a bit. So at this point, it's like... Do I put it at top of B or like bottom of A? We'll leave it at the top of B for the time being. Dragon Ball Z, I have so much nostalgia to this series. It definitely keeps me entertained, but I don't think it's a top tier show, especially with all these other things it's competing against. It definitely influenced all these things that came next. So Dragon Ball Z, I think I'm going to put it at the bottom of B. Nah, we'll put it in the middle of B. No, bottom of B. Fairy Tail, I'll put it in C because I dropped it 3 times and I can't get into it. Funny story. So, long-running series, I think, are harder to create than most series. It's just so much harder to keep someone interested for a long period of time and make it not feel repetitive. Because at the end of the day, like, you could love the characters, and the characters were engaging for Fairy Tail, but you have to keep me engaged for the long run. And Fairy Tail just couldn't do that for me. I dropped it at 100 episodes, rewatched it to 150, and then dropped it again, and then, I don't know, I dropped it like close to 3 to 4 times. While One Piece, it's like, I love the characters, I love the journey, the world is so different, every island is so different, and I have this goal in the end where, like, you have this constant mystery of what is the One Piece, what is the secret history of the world, and at the end of the day, from the start, this was built to be an adventure around the world, and it was set up for that. Fairy Tail, I just couldn't get into it, I'm biased, I didn't finish the series. Magi was like a B tier series. 7 Deadly Sins, okay. The problem is, I loved the first 2 seasons, but the newest season was pretty bad when it comes to animation, but then you can just read the manga for that, right? So let's forget that anime adaptation ever came out, and I'm going to actually put 7 Deadly Sins in A, above My Hero Academia and Bleach. Because, 1, I prefer the characters in 7 Deadly Sins, and they actually had me engaged in the character backstories and the story for the long run. Okay. We got Naruto here. I'm assuming this is all of Naruto, because I do not see Naruto versus Naruto Shippuden. Because if it was just Naruto I'd put in S tier. Naruto Shippuden, I'd probably put it in like B to A. Probably B. But it's just Naruto, I'm going to put it in A. I do think the ending and the war was pretty bad, but I dropped the anime and read the manga. The war was a little bit more tolerable without the filler. Still wasn't amazing. It still felt like shit after all that time to have that type of ending. But I do have some nostalgia for this series, and I do think it was very well executed for a very long time. I'm talking 400 episodes in, it was still a top tier series. Now, this may seem biased, but because I love Yato and the characters in Noragami, I was very attached to this series. I want to put it above MHA and B, but I kind of want to put it in A. But it just doesn't match up with the things currently in A, so I can't do that. I don't know what this series is, I'm going to move it. Hitman Reborn. First 30 episodes, very slow, felt like a comedy slice of life. Then it becomes an action shonen and gets better and better. I do love the cast of characters. Was never a huge fan of Suna, but I liked all the secondary and background characters and support characters. We'll put this in B as well. Rurouni Kenshin. Based off what I watched, I'll put it in C, but I haven't watched much. Can I have like a not watched category? I watched like 30 episodes. Samurai Champloo, A. I don't know what Nux is on. Even regardless of the troll tier list that he did, he does have a standpoint that Samurai Champloo is overrated. And I don't think the ending was amazing per se, but the entire journey was just action-packed, absolute blast. I loved our 2 main characters. D is not watched. We'll do that. Haven't seen. What is this? Owari no Seraph is like better than these 2. It's like bottom of B, maybe C tier. I'll put it in C tier. I feel like I just watched too many series like it and it didn't bring anything new to the table. Soul Eater is like a B tier. Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul Season 1 gets more hate than it deserves. I think Season 1 was actually quite enjoyable. Season 2 was ass. I haven't read the manga. I do want to read the manga. I'm going to put it in B. right below MH. No, right below, right here. Right around there. What is this? I can't even tell what that is. So we're going to move this to the back. Let me know in chat. I don't know what this is. Yu Yu Hakusho is A tier. Is S tier. Fun fact, I like Yu Yu Hakusho better than Hunter x Hunter. However, I will admit, it's not as perfected. Fairy Tail, I'm keeping it here. If I watched over 150 episodes of the show, I don't care if I dropped it and haven't seen the good part yet, it's C tier. Boruto, obviously in Boruto tier, that only makes sense. Gintama, I watched 75 episodes. Honestly, for the sake of Nux and the fact that he put it in SSS tier, truthfully, I'm going to put it in haven't seen. Although I watched 75 episodes and I was honestly underwhelmed. D. Greyman I watched a little bit. Inuyasha, I feel like Inuyasha is like a B to C tier anime. What the hell is these last two? I don't know. Haven't seen. I hope you guys enjoyed the first part of this tier list. Let's go to the second part. How about 7 Deadly Sins Season 3 doesn't exist? Well, to me it really doesn't, because I enjoyed the first two seasons a lot. The third season looked crap, so I just read the manga, and then it really didn't affect me. The thing I love about the 7 Deadly Sins is because the first season, to me, is just you got these lovable, very fun characters that are in this somewhat interesting world with cool fights. It was okay. Slightly above average if you ask me. And then, in the second season, we start to get these deeper backstories, which we kind of got and were hinted at in Season 1 for Bon and Meliodas and King, and these characters are even further fleshed out and become much deeper characters that you love, but also care about more because of that backstory and because of that development. And then, as you start going, we obviously get Escanor, which is one of the most badass characters in all of anime. We get amazing fight scenes, and I do think it's a top tier series that just keeps on going and getting better throughout. For something like MHA, which I do have a knock lower, it has very good moments. I never felt as attached to the characters, that's just my personal preference, but I do feel like it was a roller coaster. I'm a Chad, I love training scenes, and for some reason with My Hero Academia, whenever they had their training arcs in between each villain arc, the villain arcs are amazing, but in between each villain arc, the training arcs did not keep my interest. I feel like it's one part because of how they did the training arcs, but also because I'm not overly in love with the characters, and obviously they tried to flesh out all their characters throughout these arcs, or many of them. What is up, everybody? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm about to go live on Twitch right now, so if you're watching this within the first couple hours of the video being out, I'll likely be live either playing Dark Souls by myself, playing party games with viewers, or playing Apex with the boys. I'm not sure yet. A huge thank you to my patrons. I know I haven't been uploading as much lately, so I want to just emphasize how thankful I am for all your support, and all your support over on Twitch, and everyone's support on this video. I know I haven't been uploading, I'm sorry guys. So thank you to my $1 tier, which is on screen right now. A huge thank you to my $2 tier, Bougie Alpaca, RTL Faith, Codex, Siren, the Magikarp Guy. A thank you to my $5 tier, Full Gas, Kakashi Lee, Raphael, Zodiart, Miguel, Maddie Ice Cream, KT, Ophir, Steven, McEvely, Kaido Might Be a Dragon, Michelle Moria, Maggie, King Osloth, Mick Manga. Thank you to my $10 tier, Kashab, Gentleman, Brendan, Langert, Ashton, Wicked Joker, Nothing But a Fan, McFlan, Jessica. Whoa, that's out of order. Okay, whatever. Dusty Blanchette, Johnny Boy Draws, Elizabeth Fleetwood, I Cry During Sex, King Zeldris, Greg, Jakeman, Soulslayer, your boy Shinji, Gamer, Terra Shift, Shelly, Cricket XP, Jay Kasumi, Ginkgo Taku. And a thank you to the Mad Lads at the $25 Yonko tier, Mercenary for Hire, Hernan, the Weebology Podcast, Future Mech, Trey Lincoln, Maury, Chara, Steelers, Rusty Lee, and some guy 9393. My hair's all messed up. I'm K-Pop Riggs. I'm going to be live on Twitch, everybody. Thank you again to everyone who watched the video. Smash a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more content. I want to try to upload more of my streams because we do a lot of fun stuff on stream. And yeah, thank you to everyone on Patreon, and I'll see you all next time, dudes. Shinpaku.